Namaskar. We are joined by Mr. Pasricha, who is Deputy Director General for Certification at the Bureau of Indian Standards. Mr. Pasricha, thank you for speaking to us. It's wonderful having you with us.
Thank you for providing this opportunity.
Bureau of Indian Standards is known for setting standards. It sets standards and it has become the touchstone for providing quality standards. Can you take us through the quality ecosystem that the BIS has now developed in the country, please?
So as you are already aware that BIS is the national standards body of India. And so the prime objective of setting up this organization is to make standards, publish standards at the national level, which are called Indian standards. So that is our basic job. So we have 17 different divisional councils under which we make Indian standards, like mechanical engineering, civil engineering, transport engineering, electronics and IT, all kinds of fields. Latest are the environment and ecology and the Ayush. These are the latest fields which we have added. And another thing is that we ensure that India participates at the international standardization in ISO and IEC, so that the voice, what we require in the standards is heard and then taken care at the international level itself. And then India can adopt the same standards here so that our standards are harmonized with the world. So that is the first objective. The second objective comes as you have standards. Now you want industry to implement those standards. So that is our second core job, that we want industry to implement that standards. As far as BIS is concerned, we promote voluntary certification, right? And then government has the authority, different central government ministries, to mandate standards. So in certain areas, government has mandated standards through which every manufacturer has to comply to this. So under this implementation of standards, we have two prime schemes under which we operate. One is the traditional ISI mark scheme, in which in India we have more than 52,000 certifications, and 50% of them are voluntarily certified from BIS. And another is the registration scheme for electronic and IT products and solar products. Another 25,000 of manufacturers are certified under that from BIS. 50% of them are the Indian domestic manufacturers.
One question that comes to my mind is, are our standards matching international levels? Are we there at par with what the international bodies would be doing?
Yeah, so that is what I am telling, that we participate from India as BIS with our experts from India at the ISO and IEC level. And whatever our thought processes, our requirements are there, we try and get them addressed in the standards and then adopt those standards. So as far as the Indian standards are concerned in product category, wherever ISO IEC standards are available, almost 95% of the standards have been adopted from the ISO IEC itself.
Wow.
But wherever they are not available, we have published our own Indian standards.
We have our own standards for
own standards for that.
Oh, wonderful. Is BIS also collaborating with international standard bodies as well in terms of evolving, testing, and mandating standards?
So as BIS is a active participation in both ISO and IEC, and with all the different countries, NSBs, national standards bodies of other countries, we are collaborating on a regular basis. Even many multinational certification bodies are collaborating with us. Like even in our certification activity, since we have limited manpower, for our surveillance activity after the grant of certification, we are utilizing agencies which are also working in European countries.
Oh, okay.
So 4 agencies we have empaneled with us who are working for us for surveillance work. So they are accredited agencies as per the international ISO 17020 standard, NABCB accredited. And they are the same agencies that TUV India, TUV SUD, the Quality Austria, the Intertech, BVQI has also worked, H.J.S. has also worked. So all these agencies which are of international repute, they're working with us.
And it's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street.
You would give some and they will take some from them as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell us the differentiation. How do you balance between the consumer protection when it comes to quality standards and the industry growth? How do you balance that?
See, ultimately, whenever there is going to come a standard for a product, it is a win-win situation for both for the consumer Consumer is sure that this product is getting manufactured as per this standard, and this is the output I am getting. I am getting a quality and safe product. Manufacturer, through this standard, he gets an image enhancement that, okay, they are all producing a standardized good. This not only gives their enhancement in their image, but as a country also, the image is enhanced. In this product category, the India produces all their product as per this relevant standard, which many times is aligned with the international standards. I'll give you example. 5 years back in 2021, toys QCO was implemented in India. Before that, there was a survey done by a body other than BIS, QCI, in which 66% of the samples failed in safety requirements as per the standards. Toys, which are for our kids, children. And then QCO was brought by the DPIIT. We implemented it. And now the compliance rate is more than 90%. We implemented the standards which are international standards. ISO standards, IEC standards adopted in India. Those have been implemented. So this is the benefit to the consumer. They are getting the compliant product. The benefit to the industry, we were a net importer of toys prior to that. Now we are a net exporter of toys as a country. So it is a win-win situation for both once you implement standards.
That's a giant leap, actually.
Yeah.
From being an importer, we become an exporter because of the standards that have been set. Voluntary standard, you mentioned about the voluntary standard. The number of standards that your voluntary compliances have increased tremendously. Now it's 700, I suppose, right now. So what is driving those expansion? Where are we taking this right now?
See, this 700 figure is the standards which are under mandatory certification. We have around 10,000 product standards, out of which around 700 have been brought under mandatory certification.
Okay.
Another about 900 are there, which are there under our voluntary certification. So in total, we are having more than around 1600 standards which have been getting certified across the country. So voluntary certification is manufacturer, if there is a standard, manufacturer is willing to implement that standard and get certification from BIS. So that is always a welcome sign. But mandatory certification is done through a notification by the relevant ministry through a quality control order. So those products have grown to around.
How do you differentiate between what should be under mandatory and what should be under voluntary?
As far as once we publish a standard, from implementation point, from BIS side, it is voluntary. All standards are voluntary. Right. The moment this decision, whether a standard for a particular product is to be mandated, is required to be taken by the government,
right,
the relevant ministry. They discuss, consult with all stakeholders, and then come out with the proposal. Yes, we want to go ahead with this implementation of standard as a mandatory standard. BIS role is to provide them the technical support in implementing the standard. Once they notify, we prepare ourselves, and then we implement the standard on ground. That is what is our basic role.
So the compulsory standards have increased from 100 to 700. That's
yes,
what.
Yeah.
What is driving those expansion? What is the philosophy behind those?
The philosophy behind is, I think, started right with our PM's approach of Z, zero effect, zero defect.
Right.
Then came the 2016 BIS Act, which provided all these enabling provisions for the central government to bring out QCOs. And for the legitimate reasons, which are compliant to WTO requirements,
right,
again aligned with the international requirements. And then in 2018, once our regulations came, BIS conformity assessment regulations, the various ministries, right from the Commerce Ministry, which drove this quality control orders mechanism, all ministries took part in this and took out their respective products where they thought that we need to bring mandatory certification.
Right.
And then with the participation of all these ministries, DPIIT, Ministry of Steel, DCP, Ministry of Chemicals and Petrochemicals, Textiles, MITI,
right, right,
MNRE, all ministries have been playing their active role in bringing out the quality control orders for the relevant products which are under there. That is how we have grown to this large number, 700.
So this 700 can also increase in future. Is that what we can see?
Yeah, there is always a discussion still on for many products in various ministries for bringing QCOs.
Yeah, besides the standards, BIS is also working on making it easier for businesses to comply with procedures and all. Can you explain to us what BIS is doing for making it easier, the ease of doing business, as the Prime Minister keeps talking about?
Since this movement started, since we have come from 100 to 700, so this is primarily the objective is that the consumer gets a quality product, safe product. Now the thing is, for manufacturers to take, industry to take certification, we have to have procedures and systems in place where they are not at discomfort. So when this movement started, we started on this journey of evolving our whole process re-engineering and making simplification for the industry. We started with, in 2018-19, we started with our complete digitization of our portal, that all the processing is done only digitally through the portal. No extra communication is done with the manufacturer. It's all transparent. Whenever he applies, he has a dashboard to see the status, what is the progress of his application. And then we made strict timelines for our branches to follow. We made a simplified procedure for the domestic industry, where if they follow that, the certification can be granted within 30 days. And I am happy to share that in the last 4 to 5 years, our compliance rate with this simplified procedure of 30 days is more than 95%.
Wow. So there's no inspector Raj, that you just have to, someone has to just log onto your portal.
They apply, we do all kinds, we do our inspection, but it has to be done in a timely manner. That is ensured through this portal and through the monitoring mechanism we have placed. And then later, we again in 2023, we gave concessions for the MSME industry. To the micro sector, we have given 80% in our fees, annual fees. To the small scale sector, we have given 50%. And the medium scale, we have given 20%. And even startups, we have given 80%. Plus, there is an additional concession to 10% to women entrepreneurs and to units in the Northeast. So that was valid up to 2026. Now we have extended it to another 3 years to 29.
So what's the philosophy behind this extension? Why did you do that? Why was the need felt for doing
this? Purpose is that the MSME are promoted. They don't feel a burden of that they are getting financially burdened because of this certification. Our objective is to make the cost recovery, which since large scale sector is also coming, so we are able to recover our charges from large scale primarily. So we are subsidizing the micro and small scale sector through that.
So how does certification actually help? You mentioned about MSME startups. How does certification actually help them promote their businesses?
So I think this is the biggest help is to the small scale and the micro scale sector. I'll give you an example, like toy. A multinational is also making and selling a toy, a small company. Now both claim that they are making as per the same relevant standard, which is aligned with the ISO standard, international standard. So that gives them a equal footing in the market. Their product complies to the same standards to which a multinational company's product is complying. So that gives a big boost to their image.
True. So that's from the manufacturer's side. From a consumer side, can I as a consumer also check how many products are certified? Is the product that is being certified, is being said is certified by BIS, is it true or not? Is there a mechanism to do that?
Yeah, we have a BIS Care app, which is available on both Android and iOS phones, and you have to just download that app. All the features are available in this. That you can have the list of products which are under mandatory certification, notified by government, and then if you buy that product, the ISI mark will be there, the license number will be there. You can verify that license number on our app itself, that whether it is a genuine license, who is the manufacturer, where it is located, everything is available through the app.
That number will give you everything.
All the linkage.
All the linkage.
All the linkage.
Wow. One app and everything.
One app.
Oh, wonderful. As part of the ease of doing business, BIS has moved from factory surveillance to risk-based surveillance. What prompted it, and how is it helping the industry?
So recently, we have taken 2 or 3 more steps to enhance ease of doing business. One is, earlier our period of grant of license was 1 to 2 years, and renewal was again normally people used to take 1 year only, because If they have to take 5-year renewal, they have to pay the fees. Now we have enhanced the period to 5 years for grant as well as renewal, wherever the payment of fees will be on annual basis only.
Okay.
So that is one. Second is, we had moved about 3 years back to risk-based surveillance. Risk-based surveillance means the compliant manufacturers will be facing less surveillance, non-compliant will be facing more surveillance.
So they are categorized into risk categories.
Risk categorization.
Right.
So now further we have tried to do is, even in this risk categorization, our focus will be more on market surveillance rather than on factory surveillance. Again, so that the kind of terminology we use in government, that inspector Raj is minimized.
Right.
There is minimum interaction between the industry and our team who goes for the inspection. So that is the objective. That is why we are moving to a mechanism of preferably market surveillance, because there we buy the sample actually from the market as a consumer and then get it tested.
So
if that is a compliant sample, we feel that this manufacturer is producing right quality goods.
So the BIS team would be on their own violation, not not prompted by the industry. Go pick up a product, test it on their own, and then
this is a proactive measure we take. We buy it from the market and get it tested in the labs. Right. And once we get the report, if it is compliant, it is fine. If the report is non-compliant, we go back to the manufacturer that this is a non-compliance. We give him opportunities, 1 or 2 opportunities for improvement. But if a manufacturer over a period of time is not improving, we have the punitive actions. We can suspend his license. Okay. We can even cancel his license.
So,
if there is a
is there a graded mechanism where you give a warning, you give a...
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
how it...
Absolutely. That is it.
Okay. Several new ministries, renewable energy, METI, they all are wanting to bring their products under for certification by BIS. How is BIS coping up with the new products that are being asked for certification?
So we are geared, we are collaborating with all the ministries, including METI and MNRE, on a very regular basis. For standards, our technical divisions are there, which coordinate with each ministries. And for certification also, we have a nodal department, which on a regular basis interacts with all the ministries. We have on a regular basis interactions, meetings with them. And then whatever solutions are required to be provided, we discuss between the BIS and ministry and come out with the decisions and for implementation of the standards, whatever new standards they want to bring out. Like recently, MIT wanted a standard on this the safety glass which we put on our screen guard on our mobile phones. So now BIS has come out with a standard on that, and now they are looking forward for implementing it as a mandatory standard.
Oh, that will be mandatory.
So this is all in discussion with the ministry. Even we had done a wonderful job in consultation with RBI. Reserve Bank of India wanted in the banks where they count the notes, the defective notes or the notes which are not true notes, fake notes. So for detection of those, there are certain specialized machines. They wanted that there should be a standard on those machines. Okay. And then BIS should certify. We have developed this standard in consultation with RBI, our committee, and now the implementation, we have started the certification for those machines.
So from screen guards to currency checking machines.
So we are doing in all kinds of fields. That is the variety of work we are doing.
Right. How important are standardizations or norms for emerging sectors like solar energy or electronics manufacturing, chip manufacturing? What is the BIS take on that?
So these are very critical areas, as we know that we are progressing in the semiconductor field, in the AI field, in the robotics. Right. So BIS has technical committees which are all working in these areas parallelly with the relevant stakeholders, industry, ministries, the research bodies. They are all on board with us. And similarly in solar sector. Solar sector, again, the certification is already mandated, but still recently the MNRE wanted that the efficiency for solar modules have to be enhanced. So they came out with a requirement which we have started implementing. So whatever improvements as per the international practices are required. We are constantly upgrading our standards, and all the Indian standards are always dynamic in nature.
Yeah.
We are an organization which is always open to ideas, open to improvements. So that is our mantra.
Yeah.
That whosoever has good suggestions, please come forward, whether it is for standards or for certification. We'll listen, and wherever it is implementable, we'll improve our systems.
Now, India is looking to emerge as a big manufacturing base for solar modules as well as electronics manufacturing. Will these standards actually help in pushing India as a next destination for manufacturing?
See, especially for these all electronic and solar products, all the standards are aligned with international standards. So that is the advantage. Once you have the manufacturing capability in the country, the whole world knows that you are producing as per the standards which are at level, which are the same at the international level.
Right.
So the acceptance of your products, that is how the mobile phones which are now getting made in India are being sold across world.
Right, true. So let me also, from a consumer point of view, ask you about this redressal, consumer redressal mechanism. If I have a complaint, what is the redressal mechanism that I can resort to? Where can I complain? How do I get to redress my complaint against?
So there are a number of ways. We have on our portal. We have on that same BIS Care app. Even there you can lodge a complaint.
Right.
That is as simple as that. Our portal, through any email, all forms, or physical complaint through a physical letter, any procedure you can complain to BIS. If you have purchased a BIS certified marked good and you have any problem with that, we will come and investigate that complaint. If it is found genuine, there is a provision that the manufacturer will have to replace the product to you.
Okay.
Or even there is a provision of compensation to the consumer. If the consumer requires compensation. Compensation as per our rule is twice the cost of the good.
Okay.
So that provision is also there under our.
So I don't have to go through the consumer court and stuff.
No. For BIS marked goods, you can complain to BIS.
And what is the time frame in which you redress those complaints?
It can vary from product to product. Because some products, if you have to test and establish that product is actually failing, it may take some time.
Right.
Other products, which can physically only you can tell that there is a defect, the time taken will be much lesser. So it is not, you can't standardize it, but we try to address all complaints within 30 days. That is our objective.
That's a very, very reasonable time frame, actually.
But some complaints do take more time.
I understand. So finally, what is the message that you are wanting to, what is the message that the BIS is wanting to send out to industry as well as consumers when it comes to standardization and certification? What is it that is the core philosophy that you want to convey to the industry?
So I would say two for each. To the industry, first thing is they need to participate actively in the standardization activity.
Right.
To make standards, they need to participate actively. Come forward. Because it's all a voluntary participation. That is number one. Second is, once a standard is there, start implementing that standard on your own, without anybody or government asking you to implement. I think there is nothing better than that. For the consumer, number one is he should be a consumer who should know what is I'm going to purchase, whether it is mandatory or even if it is voluntary certification, whether a certified product is available. He should have this information all from BIS Care app. So first thing is he should download BIS Care app on his mobile, get this information, and then whenever he purchases a product, especially any household product, electrical appliances, he must verify that the product is genuine, the license number is genuine through that app. So that is going to give him confidence. And then even if there is a problem, through that app, he can just simply complain to BIS. So these are the two messages each to both industry and consumer.
And you would do the handholding to the industry and the consumers as well in the entire process.
So we keep on educating. We have our programs across our branches all across India. They keep on having engagement with the industry at various levels. For industry, we have even product-specific capsule courses, where for micro and small it is free of cost. They just have to reach the venue. Rest all is taken care by BIS. Similarly, for consumers, we educate with the help of consumer organizations and resident welfare associations and many other student chapters of the schools and colleges where we have student clubs, standards clubs. We are trying to percolate this message of consumer awareness.
That's a very proactive approach, I must say. Thank you very much for talking to us. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.